And then as he comes out of there, he feels as though he needs speed, horizontal speed. So you can see he straightens his body and lifts his arms forward, which is really good. So his decision about getting speed was really good. And that's what was needed in that instance. And you can see he does it again here. So he does it again here. And the problem, the issue I've got here is not the fact that he does the technique well. It's just at this moment here, he does it excessively. So the hands are up in the air like he's praising the Lord in a religious ceremony. You know, praise the Lord. You know, hallelujah, all that sort of stuff. So really, what he needed to do here was just lift the arms up to shoulder level, and that would have been sufficient. So just a little bit too much there. This second pump, I call this pumping down the line. This second pump, see, straightens the body and lifts the arm forward. And you can see what the board does. The board actually jumps forward because of it. You know, he gets an acceleration. And you'll see in the footage, in some of the other footage that we've got to talk about, there's surfers who haven't got that acceleration, they haven't got the ability to create speed. And as a result of that, they've got deficiencies in their surfing. He did a snap just like this guy here. This guy comes up and he does a snap. You know, again, the technique, lean, look, and lift the arms up. The lifting of the arms at the end of the maneuver actually gives you drive at the end of the maneuver. And if you don't use the arms, what happens is that you get a stoppage. Okay, and you see this surfer, he does that, and then he lifts and throws. So the arms only go up to shoulder level. You see the board respond to there. That really jumps up forward because of that horizontal speed that he's creating, and then that gives him more speed to come down, get around the section, and then go into that next maneuver section of the ride. Okay, so and if I just show you one more here, here's Steph Gilmore again at Bells Beach. You can see she comes up, she does a high rebound off the top of re-entry, and she looks down the line and she decides, okay, I need to get to the next section quickly. So what does she do? She straightens and lifts the arms forward, and she straightens and lifts the arms forward. But the arms only come up to shoulder level. They don't go above the head. There are occasions where that is appropriate, where you lift more, but in a normal surf situation, it's the straightening of the body and lifting the arms forward will give you a jump forward with the board, an acceleration of the board, and then you can surf rail to rail with that speed that you have. So just those two things, Paul. I would have been doing a cutback as your first turn, and I wouldn't have been lifting the arms up as high when you're doing that speed creation. You know, it's good to have energy in your surfing. It's good, but sometimes it's good just to be more conservative in what you do rather than trying to attack sections where it doesn't work.
Martin, can I
questions on?
Yeah, Martin, can I ask a question about the speed generation? Can you just talk just about like the pushing, like, crouched position, compressed, and then like stretching up and de-weighting the board and moving the hands forward? I personally get a lot of abuse about not generating enough speed. So how do you even start to do this? What are the correct things to think about then for the speed bump and for generating that speed?
If I just show you on a skateboard, you can see this guy, he gets his speed, and what he does, he bends his body and he lifts the arms. It's just straightening and lifting the arms to think. And if you look at his heels on the board, what actually happens is he straightens his body and he lifts himself up onto his toes. See, the heels are off the board. So he's unweighted the board completely when you do that action. And that's what you're trying to do. It's like a standing broad jump. When you're a kid at school, you're playing sports, they had a standing broad jump. It's all about jumping forward as fast as you can and as far as you can, but you're doing it on the wave. You're doing it on the surf. And the most important time to do that, if I just get rid of that clip for a minute, the most important time to do that in most surfers, surfers surfing thing is to learn it. So when you pop up on takeoff, so here's a surfer, he's popping up on takeoff. Sorry. Sure. So basically what happens here is that if you come up getting speed as part of the takeoff action, you pop up, and then if you're going to cut across the wave, again, it's this action of straightening and lifting, right? And doing those two things, it unweights the board and the board just jumps forward. Okay. So in sport, this is a particularly important action in surfing, in small wave surfing. And interestingly, if I just show you here, there's a Kelly Slater here at Pipe, and he gets a 10-point ride. I'll just play this through. A sec, I'll just get rid of the sound. I'll just play this through. You see Kelly Slater here, and he's getting a 10-point ride. And it's a great ride. It's really, it's unbelievable that he comes out of that. But a big part of that was that he stalled on takeoff. And then what he did, he straightened and lifted, and he straightened and lifted. You can see there his arms are up high. So he's doing that action, but he's doing the action in the tube. And guaranteed he's done it here, because when we see here, his arms are up again. And I guarantee you again, he's done it here. We can't see it, but I'm telling you, he did it. And that's a big part of the reason why he made this tube. So if you learn how to create speed in small waves, if you're into taking off on big barreling waves, it's a skill that you need to be successful in that type of thing as well.